Hey guys, this is Test 67, Game 1 from the October 2012 LSAT. This is the Students and Speeches game. It is a matching game, also known as association, because we're associating the 5 students, M, N, O, P, and R, with either giving a speech on friendship or liberty, and then also majoring in a particular subject, either geology, history, or journalism. Now, I've laid out a bunch of stuff here, but I'm going to explain all of that. We've got the 5 students, M and O, P, R, friendship and liberty on the top level, geology, history, and journalism on the bottom level. I put down 2 Fs next to that relevant row of FL because we know we're going to have 2 speaking on friendship, which means that 3 will speak on liberty. We know that we're going to have 2 Gs, 2 Hs, and 1 J, also due to information in the initial paragraph. We know that a G and an H must both speak on friendship, so on the left side here, I've put down FG and FH because we know that this will have to happen, which means that FJ will never have to happen due to the fact that our 2 Fs are already being used up by G and H. We have M speaking on friendship, so I'll put down an F right there on the M column. I'll put down R speaking on liberty, so I'm going to put an L down there on the R column. We also know that neither P nor R is a geology major, so I put down not G under both of those columns. And finally, Nadia being geology means that G is going to go right here on N. Now, we know that M is going to have to do either G or H due to the fact that M is always going to be F, and our Fs will either have to be always G or H. They can never be J, so J is never going with M. Now that's pretty much it for our bare bones initial setup for the game. We'll do a lot more work over the course of answering the questions themselves. So question number 1 is a typical orientation question. We're just going to take one rule at a time and apply that rule to all 5 choices one at a time. So we know, for example, that Nadia is always going to be G, so any choice without Nadia being G is automatically eliminated, which gets rid of E. We also know that M is going to be either G or H, nothing else. Unfortunately, that doesn't eliminate anything for us. We know that we're going to have always H or J on P and R. We're never going to have G there. So for that reason, we can eliminate D. Now, after this, eliminating things gets pretty tricky, but we do have the information that we're always going to have 2 Gs, 2 Hs, and 1 J. So any choice without that precise count is automatically wrong, getting rid of both A and B, leaving C by elimination for number 1. Next, number 2, if P speaks on friendship, what must be true? So if P speaks on friendship, this means that P cannot be J, it must be H. Now, if P has to be H, we've got F being H on P, so F will have to be G on M, so G cannot be H. So we've got 2 Gs here, 1 H, and then R's either J or H, and O's either H or J. We don't know exactly how these break down, but that's the basic idea for them. So now we'll just run through the choices. What could be true? M being history, no, M is G, so A is gone. N being F, no, M and P are F, which means that N and O have to be L, so B is gone for that reason. C, O being F, no, O is L, so C is gone. O being J, yes, that's entirely possible. O could be either H or J, so D is our answer. I'll look at E here just to be thorough. P being J, no, P is being H in particular, so E is gone, leaving D for number 2. Next, number 3, if O does G and F. So if O is doing G and F, this means that M cannot do G, M must do H. So we've got 2 Gs and 1 H already taken care of. We simply have an H and a J remaining. Additionally, because our 2 Fs have been placed on M and O, N and P will have to be L. So now, what must be true? M being H, yeah, we got it, so A is our answer to number 3. Next, number 4, if N does F, this means that M has to do H, and O and P will both be L, and we're going to have either H or J on O here. So what must be false? This means 4 of the choices could be true, so we could find the 4 that could be true and eliminate them, and whatever remains is our answer. So M doing G. Could that be the case? No, M is definitely doing H. So A is actually our answer to number 4. I'll go through the rest though. M doing H, yeah, that could be true. In fact, it must. O doing G, yeah, could happen. We don't really know what's happening with that. In fact, actually, I'm sorry, it must happen because none of the other remaining slots could be G. So C's gone as well. P doing H, yeah, P could do either H or J, so it's possible. And then R doing H as well. R could do H or J, so E's gone, leaving A. R must do J if which one of the following is true. So this one might kind of leave you guessing for a point as to where to start. I would run through the choices looking for one that already gives us a piece of information that we already know about. So we see that, M doing F, in fact, is always the case. That's no surprise. That's an initial inference. In fact, it's an initial rule. So I would not start with D and E. I wouldn't go so far as to eliminate them. I just put a little dot next to them, a little dash next to them, suggesting that's not the place to start because these two choices are already wasting one of our 2 pieces of information. So I would actually start by looking at choices A, B, and C, drawing out quick sketches for each of them. So here are our sketches for choices A, B, and C. I've simply inserted into each of the main diagrams what happens when you fill in each of the pieces of information for A, B, and C. Our question now is which of these forces are to do J as the question stem of number 5 describes? Well, we've got, remember, 2 G's, 2 H's, and 1 J. In choice A, we have 2 G's here, but which of these has to be an H, which has to be a J? O, P, and R are kind of ambiguous in that regard. O could still do J, and R could do H in choice A, so for that reason, A is gone. Looking at choice B, still some ambiguity regarding P and R here, which is doing J again, so C is gone. B is gone, sorry. But look at C, because we already have H on P here, and M could not do J, that leaves R to do J, and M will have to do H for certain because we already have our 2 G's on N and O. So R is forced to do J in choice C, therefore C is our answer to number 5.